Okay, right then, Ryan. So, setup-wise was okay. Okay, these are what you're practicing as you're doing there, okay, now, which again, even on that, there's quite a lot of wrist hinge there with a half backswing. I would like to see, if your arms only go into there, the club should be really, in some ways, kind of up here somewhere, sort of almost pointing a bit more towards the camera this way, rather than almost completing the backswing to the top of the backswing there, okay? But in terms of grip pressure, a little bit looser, okay, so that there, you see, there's a better backswing there, you see.
Yeah.
Left arm's almost similar, look where the club is. So a lot less wrist hinge. So as you come back to the golf ball, you've got a chance. That's a pretty good backswing position there. Okay, so you're making these swings here now. That, I would say there, it's hard to see, but that left arm and that club face sort of position, or the fact your left glove sort of logo, for me, is that direction. So we sort of work that out there. You're hitting the golf ball now with your hand like that.
Yeah.
So where's that club going to be miles right? So even though you're coming in from the inside, you make contact with that golf ball, that face now is going to be active, and then you try and save with the hands of the last set, it's too late. Because the information is given to that golf ball at that point of contact.
Yeah.
If your hands rotate here or here or here, it's just irrelevant. There's nothing going to happen. You can do as much as you want after the ball. It's not going to change anything. So this was your backswing here now. Again, picking up a little bit steep. Now from there, I wouldn't say you're really turning your shoulders at all. You're just lifting your arms up. So that club now really collapsed there. And the fact your arms are where they are and the club's that close to your body means you've had so much wrist hinge now, okay?
Yeah.
So your first move now, because is going to get the club out here, at this point now, your club's almost matching up with your left, matching up with your left forearm, innit? Not your right forearm, okay? Right. You look at this one here now as you start coming back down, okay? I assume you come back down. You have to come down eventually, I guess. Okay? Look at that position.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's what we're trying to get that club to match up more with that right forearm. So it starts coming the golf ball here now. You can now square that club. So this is a lot slower, but at least here now the club's squaring up and coming in from a direction that we wanted the golf ball from, and not skying up in the top, because that position there now is like a wood chopping into the goal, and it's going to be very steep across the goal. You either pull it way left, slice it way right, or just sky it up in the air. Okay. And in some ways, the best you can hope for is the sky, because it doesn't go very far offline. Yeah. Don't go very far, but it goes fairly straight in some ways. Okay, so I think it's the one. There you go, swing the golf. Okay, so if we look at your backswing there now. Compare that to that. That seemed miles away from your head compared to where that one was. Yeah. It still could be a little bit further, truth be told, okay? But this is a better position to start with, okay? As we make it longer again. As we come back down to the golf ball, that now is kind of matching up more with the middle of your arms rather than your left forearm. So the club now has gone from there to there to eventually there. Okay. So you're kind of going to go, that's kind of where you're at, I guess, now with that club, and we want to try and get it obviously more in that position, okay, with your hands being a bit closer into your body, which will happen being a better turn. You just get that sort of happen sort of almost naturally, okay? So the club starts coming back. You can see the angle now, that club coming in the bag nicely from the inside, a squarer club face, ball starting off to target, and pretty much staying. Look at the more natural follow through there, rather than kind of, not sure this one's good. It's like, please. And you obviously here, you get to about here, and then just watch the completion now is just watch your wrist. Just fold over to try to please go left, and it's just gone exit right as far as you can. At least that, because the club was swinging more this way and your hands were able to square it more naturally, you didn't need to go and smother it. That position there is only going to come from someone swinging steep and across the line with an open club face and just trying their absolute damnedest to try and do whatever they possibly can to square the club face up. Okay. Now again, I know it might feel a bit like it's a long way away to where you want to get to, but I think there's certainly potential if we can just feel a little bit wider. I think the practice swing you made here was, there you go, that there. That's what we're looking for.
Stop there. Yeah.
But by taking the wrist out, you won't go any further than that. No. The only reason your club goes further is because you just collapse your wrist. Yeah. And the collapsing of the wrist causes that club to go too far and create more wrist hinge. And like I say, if you've got a hinge, that's your left arm, and the club is there, that's a 90-degree angle, okay? To straighten back to impact, we want them to be there to there. We can do that there. If your wrist angle's here, it's now got a hinge all the way back there. And again, very often, if you're hinging the wrists a lot, your body and hands haven't gone back that far, because if they did, the club would be tickling your left neck. Yeah. So when the wrist hinge and complete the backswing, now your body's almost even further ahead, and you're here, and the club's still back at this, so you're like, well, hang on a second, there's that smother. So the wristless sensation we're trying to get, okay? If you can get down the range and try and, again,
Yeah.
there's kind of your before and afters in terms of the movement we're trying to create, okay? Wider, higher, better position there, okay? And then from there, almost just throw in that club at the ball as much as you can. I want to see you almost hitting snap hooks.
Yeah.
Okay? You'll never hit a snap hook at the moment, to be fair now, because you're so far hands leading, okay? As I said, the sensation as you come into impact, the race, shall we say, from the ball up through your left shoulder, that club wants to get back to that ball before your hands do. If the hands start pulling through and the club's left back and your thumb's kind of in this sort of side position, not there,
Yeah.
club's aiming way right.
Okay.
Just going to be a big cut. You went off to the right there, and you'll just fight as much as you can to release it, but it's too late.
Yeah.
That makes sense, everybody?
Yeah, no, that's
but your
fine.
spine lean doesn't need to be quite so much.
Yeah.
I don't mind this, but don't exaggerate it too much, okay?
Yeah.
And then just for, say, wristless and wide, okay? And when the arms are wider and don't take as much of a risk, you can get that club just falling down a bit more here, rather than here and that. Your first move is a lot of wrist and a lot of shoulder.
I need my left hand facing target more than.
And that's the thing, you'd be aware of your hands, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's what Tiger says, he just controls his hands. If the ball goes left, right, high or low, just his palm, if his right palm matches up with the club face, hit the ball high, hit the ball low, hit the ball left, hit the ball right.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, basically, but he's controlling that. But if he had his hand this way, now trying to hit the ball to the left,
Yeah.
it's a lot of manipulation.
Yeah.
Hit the ball to the right, well, easy peasy, yeah, I'm already there anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just getting that kind of feel within the golf club, so when you get to the top of your backswing there, on that right hand one, Ryan, you're here now, it feels no wrist. Now from here, that club could catch up. If you're here and really collapse and you're here, it's like, well, you just got too much to do. And the thing about the golf club is, if we measure how far your chest and torso swings in a golf swing, okay, with a driver or a wedge, okay? In a wedge, your left shoulder goes from here to about there, yeah? So it's going to go there. It moves foot and a half, maybe, give or take. Your hands with a wedge go from here to up there or somewhere around there. So from there to there's what, 5-6 foot on the curve there, okay? And the club goes 12-15 feet.
Yeah.
Driver's a lot longer. So the driver head is going a lot further. The body's still going the same amount.
Yeah.
And the hands still go the same amount. If that club's got to travel further and the body and the hands are already winning the race, whereas a wedge is kind of back here, you can square it up. The driver's still over there somewhere.
Yeah.
He's trying to catch up on the outside. Think of a roundabout. If you had 4 lanes, the middle lane is your body, the next lane on the outside there and the inside is your hands.
Yeah.
The third lane is your wedge and the fourth lane is your driver. For those 4 cars to go around the round at the same time, the outside car's got to go a lot quicker, isn't it?
Yeah.
That club's got to catch up this way. But if you're moving the inside car and the second lane car are too fast, the outside car's like, I can't get fast enough, because if I go fast, I'm going to skid off.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's happening with your driver, yeah?
Okay.
Okay, mate?
Cool. Yeah,